Hey everybody, so I wanted to get on here and show you my new haircut. And if you're looking at it and thinking it doesn't look all that different, I could not agree with you more. I had an appointment last week with a curly hair specialist who does curly cuts, and I was super excited because I wanted a fresh, updated, nice styled look. I went to the appointment without a visual because the last two times that I did take a picture or I had something on my phone, I feel like the stylist still wasn't able to execute the look. So I was like, I'm gonna not take one this time. But, you know, I said I'll have a nice long conversation with the stylist, and, you know, if she gets what I'm talking about, then we'll go from there. And we did that exactly. We had a really long conversation, and she touched my hair and felt it and, you know, moved it around and talked about what products that I use and how it handles in different weather. We spoke at length. Then I told her I wanted a long bob, but I was even willing to go like above my shoulders. I told her I wanted some layering at the back so it didn't hang in one heavy piece, and some framing around the face, but not too short because of the shrinkage, and, you know, also some layering just a tiny bit on the sides. And she was like, okay, we could do this, like a swingy bob with layers. And I was like, yeah, and something that just doesn't hang in one big heavy piece. I was like, yes, okay. So after the first cut of hair, I knew it was not gonna go well. So I had a razor cut done on my hair about 20 something years ago, where the stylist took a razor and was chopping at my hair. And I learned after that first haircut, you do not use a razor on fine curly hair that's prone to frizziness. Now this stylist did not use a razor, but she used those scissors like a razor. She didn't go nice and neat. She started chopping at my hair, lifting it randomly and chopping at it. And I asked her, I said, so what's happening? And she's like, well, I'm following each curl and I'm cutting it and seeing how it falls. And I was like, okay. But, you know, I'm feeling my hair snagging in the scissors and all of that fraying, chopping downward thing. I was getting really nervous. But I said, she's the hair professional. I'm gonna let her do her thing. She went through the whole head, and then before she went in for the next round of cutting and curving and all of that stuff, I said, it's looking real frizzy. I said, it's looking frizzier than it normally does. And she was like, oh, and like she found that to be funny. And I was like, girl, I ain't laughing. So then I said to her, so I know you're doing a curly cut, but when I blow my hair dry, is it going to be uneven? And so she says, well, some parts might be, but it's not going to be that bad. She goes, how often do you blow your hair out? I said, enough that if it's going to look jagged, I'm not going to be happy. Now, I already said I wanted a bob, a long bob, you know, so that usually means straight across. So she explained to me, well, the curly cut is when we cut your hair into its shape when it's in its natural state of curls. And so if you have different curl patterns and some pieces are hanging longer because the hair is straighter, then they're going to cut that side to match all the other parts. And I was like, yeah. So I waited a few seconds and I was like, you know what, can we do a precision cut? And I don't want any more framing around the face. And you know what, maybe just a tiny bit of layers, but I'm afraid. And so basically she was like, okay. So she just went in and cleaned up all the edges. Well, she washed me and then she started doing the cuts that I'm used to. So my hair was wet. She stretched it down, cut it evenly all around. And she asked me, do you want to do this and that? And I was like, nah, it's okay. So basically this is what I ended up with. This cost me about, well, it was $95 with the 3 travel size products that I purchased. And then of course there was a tip on top of that. So, you know, I feel like I lost a lot of money when I could have gotten this done at Supercuts for less than $20. But, you know, it was an experience and I'm not really complaining. She was a wonderful person. She's a really good hairstylist. It was just that this wasn't going to work for me. But I am happy the dead ends are off. And so, you know, all good. So that's it. I just wanted you guys to see what I got going on here.